Good to see you. Happy Tuesday, 22nd day of December 2020. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley has safely arrived on the airwaves, and I mean just barely. How are you? Busy day for you today. Lots to get to. Clear skies, cold air, well, certainly cooler air as is arriving as we speak. We're going to be a good, quite a bit cooler than it was yesterday. Bizarre weather day on Monday. Our high yesterday was 44 degrees. Pretty warm, right? That happened at 1:13 in the morning. And as the day progressed and morning became early morning, it got colder. It didn't get warmer. Yeah, having our high temperature at 1 o'clock in the morning is something we don't see too often. In fact, our low yesterday was 35, which was actually 4 degrees warmer than our normal high temperature. It was this kind of thing going on, but things are going to be calmed down, quite cool. Sunshine. Are we going to have a white Christmas? Doesn't look like it. Maybe a little bit of light snow Christmas night. Details are coming up. News is coming up as well. Some of it COVID related, some of it not. We have sports. Gonzaga keeps rolling right along. The men and the ladies got some pretty good basketball teams. And the Cougar men's team, undefeated. They're off to their best start in 13 years. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. In the back half of the hour, we caught up yesterday with Tom Nees, the executive director of Serb Wenatchee Valley. We visit with Tom on a regular basis, kind of a year in review for Serb Wenatchee Valley. Just like everybody, it's been a challenging year. Serb Wenatchee Valley is no exception to that rule, but they're getting their job done. We'll catch up with Tom. We went down and visited Tom at their offices in downtown Wenatchee yesterday. We'll have that for you in the back half of the hour. Plus, we'll take you up to the passes. We got the obscure holiday. Mike McKnight has got an opinion today in history and some celebrity birthdays on this 22nd day of December. Malcolm's pushing the button, 3M, taking some time off. Let's see what we got. And again, clear skies. We're at 37 degrees outside of our studios on a drop-dead, gorgeous morning. Sunrise this morning and sunset this afternoon, just like it was yesterday. This is the first full day of winter. 7:46 is when the sun will come up. 4:13 is when the sun will dip behind the Cascades. 8 hours and 27 minutes of daylight, just like it was yesterday, and pretty much like it was on Sunday. Things will change a little bit incrementally starting Wednesday when the sun will go down about 30 seconds later. Again, slightly longer days coming our way, but it's incremental to say the least. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Camera number 2. Beautiful view up at Billy Goat. That's phenomenal. I like that. I like that a lot. Just a few high clouds way off in the distance. Pateros at the bottom center of your screen. You can see the lights of Brewster. You can even make out downtown Brewster, if there is, in fact, such a thing. And they still have some snow on the ground up there, even though a lot of people had some significant snow melt. Good morning, Kashmir. From the Apple Annie's camera, traffic seems to be flowing rather smoothly. I did just a quick little trip to the grocery store yesterday. It was just crazy at the grocery store. I was able to get what I needed to get, but a lot of people out shopping for holiday essentials on Monday. I noticed that. Camera number 4, I'm going to say, don't tell me, Malcolm. I'm going to say Monument. Yay, I got it correct. Hello, Quincy. Beautiful sunrise going on out in the Columbia Basin. Quincy has no snow now. It's all gone. There's just a few pockets of snow. I think Leavenworth obviously still has some snow. Some places where the snow was heavier to begin with. It wasn't, despite all the rain, we had 1/4 of an inch of rain measured at Pangbourne yesterday. Despite all the rain, there are still some pockets of snow on the ground. In our viewing area here in the Wenatchee Valley, it's gone, and we're not going to have any snow for the foreseeable future, but we have a couple of slides to show for you first from the National Weather Service. Pretty dry and pretty seasonable is what we're looking at. For the rest of the week, high pressure is already beginning to build into the region. That cold front has already moved through the area. We're still going to have a little residual wind today, but basically high pressure builds up, and that means we're going to be high and dry. No real snow, quite a bit of sunshine. Temperatures will be a lot cooler than what we saw over the weekend. We had 49 on Saturday and a record 51 on Sunday, and then we had 44 yesterday. We're going to be in the lower 40s today, and then we're not going to crack that 40-degree mark for the rest of the week. So fairly dry, fairly seasonable. Now, Christmas, what are we looking at? Well, we're not going to see any sunlight. It's going to be cloudy and foggy most of the day, but in the evening hours on Friday night, we in the Wenatchee Valley could get a little bit of light snow. Now, don't go all, whoa, there is about a 40% chance of snow on Friday night, but it could very well be in the overnight hours. We'll kind of wait and see. We'll know more by this time on Wednesday, the chances of us getting some snow on Christmas night. Christmas Day, during the day, probably not, but maybe some snow Christmas night. So hold out hope if you want a white Christmas. From the National Weather Service is what we're looking at for the next 7 days. Quite a bit of sunshine today, maybe 40 degrees. I'm not too sure about that. 22 for the overnight low. We're looking at sunshine and much cooler. As you can see, we'll be lucky to get to freezing on Wednesday with some patchy morning fog. Sunshine Thursday, high of 31. We're going to see clouds on Friday. I don't know what Kermit is doing there. Kermit the Frog is doing something. Oh, I can just, there's a lawsuit coming. I just have a feeling. So Friday, lots of clouds. Again, we could see Christmas evening, a 40% chance of snow. So it could be while you're awake. It could be overnight. Hard to say. We'll know more at this time tomorrow. 33 for the high on Christmas Day. Saturday, quite a bit of cloud cover, a little bit warmer. Mixture of clouds and sun on Sunday and Monday. Slight chance of some light snow Saturday and Saturday night. No significant snow event at all is in the forecast. And again, we're holding out hope that Friday night we could get a little bit of light snow to put you in the Christmas mood for the day. Okay, let's take you up to the major mountain passes. They've been getting hammered. If you need to drive in the Cascades, you want to wait a couple hours until the plows can get ahead of the game. Right now, and it has been for the last few hours on I-90, it's a chain requirement unless you have all-wheel drive. It's snowing, and it's snowing heavy at times, and it's kind of rutted out the roadway. You can almost see the ruts that have been created by the chains and the studs. That makes for pretty rough driving conditions. So right now on Snoqualmie Pass, traction tires are required, and it's snowing good. I don't even think we can even see Stevens. Yeah, barely. It's down there. It's snowing on Stevens. They have a traction tire requirement there with compact snow and ice on the roadway. Blewett looks to be your best bet right now. Live shot of US 97 at the summit. The roadway is pretty much bare and wet right at the summit. The last 2-3 miles, as you make that last climb up to the 4,100 foot mark, you're going to see some frost and ice in places, but right now there are no advisories or restrictions on Blewett Pass. Now, it is supposed to stop snowing in the next hour and a half or so in the Cascades, and then that's going to be it. Really, they tell us for all the way into Christmas. So if you need to drive into the Cascades, if you wait a couple of hours, the snow's going to stop, the plows will be able to get through, and things will be a lot easier. If you have to go now, again, it's a chain requirement on Snoqualmie Pass. Traction tires are required on Stevens, no advisories or restrictions on Blewett. Again, the snow should be tapering off in the next couple of hours, and then they have absolutely no snow at all in the forecast for the Cascades until Friday, Christmas Day. So you're up to date on the passes and on the weather. We're going to take a break at 8 minutes after the hour and come back with your Tuesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
CVCH wants to make your winter just a little brighter with their Get Out and Explore gift giveaway. This December and January, visit cvchgetout.com and download fun, safe, and simple activity guides to 4 beautiful towns in our backyard: Wenatchee, Chelan, Cashmere, and Leavenworth. Most activities are free of charge and unique to the community you visit. So get out and explore. Visit cvchgetout.com for details.
Celebrate the holidays with your friends and neighbors. Stop by and exchange a warm smile and a holiday greeting with these local businesses.
If your heating or cooling unit needs routine maintenance or an emergency repair, give Climatech a call. The staff at Climatech send your family warmest wishes for this Christmas season.
Fresh dough, real cheese, tasty ingredients, pizza made to order. From their kitchen to your oven, Papa Murphy's Pizza. Order today. Happy holidays from our family to yours.
9 minutes after the hour, we have clear skies, 37 degrees. Not going to get much warmer today, maybe 40 degrees. Bountiful sunshine with some early morning clouds and fog today, tomorrow. Right on into Friday, we're looking at cloudy skies on Friday. Sun's going to be taking Christmas Day off, and we do have a chance of some snow on Friday night. And here are your headlines on this Tuesday. Gebbers Farms has received one of the largest health and safety fines in this state's history, more than $2 million for dozens of violations related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Hundreds of visiting international workers for the Brewster Company grew sick over the summer. 2 died. from COVID-19. The State Department of Labor and Industries announced the fines against Gebbers Farms on Monday, saying the agricultural firm did not space out workers in their sleeping facilities as required. They transported too many people to job sites in the same vehicle, and Gebbers Farms allowed workers to mix outside assigned cohort groups. All of those missteps contributed to the spread of the coronavirus, according to the LNI. The company must pay $84,000 for each of the 24 violations found by Labor and Industries. Gebbers Farms has 15 days to appeal that fine. Wenatchee police are searching for a person who broke into a marijuana store early on Saturday morning and made off with 2 baskets full of cannabis products. Police say the suspect kicked in the front door of Cannabis Provisions on Miller Street at 2:19 in the morning to gain access, later fled south. On foot, the suspect is described as about 5 foot 8 inches tall with a thin build, wearing a fur winter hat, dark jacket with a hood, skinny blue jeans, and dark Converse shoes. A Leavenworth game store burglarized over the weekend, with the robbers seizing all the cash on the premises. Whirligigs is an upstairs annex of the Woodshop Hat Shop in downtown Leavenworth. Now, the owners and sheriff's deputies say there was no forced entry, but the thieves made off with about $1,600 in currency and coins. The loss happened sometime after the store closed late Saturday. If you have any information about the theft, you're asked to call Rivercom at 663-9911. 2 people were injured, one seriously, after a 2-car accident yesterday afternoon on Highway 2 near Heartline. The Washington State Patrol reports that shortly before 4, a Dodge Ram pickup being driven northbound on Road R by 36-year-old Halen Burton of Cooley Dam failed to stop at the intersection with Highway 2 and collided with a Ford F-50 truck being driven by 63-year-old Darrell Parsons of Cooley City. Parsons was airlifted to Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane. Burton was transported to the Grand Coulee Medical Center. Burton faces charges of failure to yield at a stop sign. A Wenatchee man already jailed on charges of voyeurism has now been indicted in federal court for alleged production of child pornography. Wenatchee police arrested 52-year-old Miguel Estrada Morales in September, saying his family discovered videos of underage household members taken without their knowledge. Morales allegedly admitted making videos with a hidden camera over the course of 4 years. Police say the investigation went on to find evidence that Morales distributed child pornography to other users. In Chelan County, he's charged with 9 felony counts and remains at the Regional Justice Center on a $250,000 bond. The federal grand jury indictment was handed down last week. Well, it's hard to miss that giant dahlia that you see on the side of the Garden Terrace Apartments on 5th Street near Safeway in Wenatchee. Back in October, Wenatchee Valley College art instructor Marlon Peterson used a scissor lift to painstakingly paint the giant mural. It's one of many murals painted by Peterson that can be seen in the Wenatchee Valley. And this video shows just how he was able to pull off his latest project. That is impressive, isn't it? And finally this morning, for the 8th straight year, Wenatchee and Yakima kids in foster care and low-income housing are receiving special Christmas gifts thanks to the combined efforts of 2 fruit growers. Stemilt joins with Hanson Fruit each year in the gift-giving effort. 146 children in the Wenatchee area were on the gift list this year. Another 31 presents went to foster kids in the Yakima area. Employees of Stemilt in Wenatchee fill the company's largest conference room with the gifts. They range from bikes to toys to clothing to other essential items, and that's what's making headlines. At quarter after the hour on this Tuesday, we will have a newscast for you, as we always do. Holidays accepted. We're not going to be here on Friday, but we will be here tonight. Grant and Eric and the whole crew putting together a newscast with a preview of some of the stories. Here's Grant.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, reporter Jefferson Robbins attended a Chelan Douglas Health Board meeting yesterday regarding COVID-19. We'll tell you about that. One more unseasonably warm day today, then much colder for the rest of the Christmas week. I'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom will have more on the Seahawks as they prepare for their big showdown with the Los Angeles Rams. That and all the day's news headlines coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, or go to our website, ncwlife.com. It's pretty easy to find the forms that you fill out. You can submit a news tip, or you can just drop us a note and say hi. Going to take a break. When we come back, we got sports, the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Everyone's entitled to Mike McNalty's opinion. I'm a conversation with Tom Nees as we get caught up with our good friends at Serb, Wenatchee Valley. All coming up between now and the top of the hour. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Experience the difference in Manson at Mountain View Lodge, where you can park and leave your car and your cares behind. Your winter package starts at just $109, featuring treats from the Coffee Cabin at Rio Vista, Wine Girl Wines, and the North Shore Cafe. Call Mountain View Lodge and Resort or book online. Stay the night. Your room is ready.
Back at it, 35 degrees now with clear skies, bountiful sunshine today, tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Not so sunny on Christmas Day, but maybe a snowflake or two on Christmas night. Here's sports at 18 minutes after the hour. Gonzaga improved to 5-0 on the season with a 95-57 whitewashing of Northwestern State at the Kennel in Spokane yesterday. Corey Kispert scored 27 points for the Bulldogs in what ended up being its home opener after several cancellations because of COVID-19. Anton Watson scored 15 points for Gonzaga. Jalen Suggs, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And in a interesting scheduling anomaly because of the pandemic, guess what? Gonzaga will play Northwestern State again today. The Kennel game will tip off at 6 o'clock. The Cougars are off to their best start since the 2007-2008 season. They're 7-0. They knocked off Prairie View A&M last night, 90-62. F.A. Abogadi led 5 players in double figures. He had 16 points, 14 rebounds. Noah Williams, 13 points. Isaac Bonton, 12. Andre Jamatowski added 11. Wazoo will host Northwestern State Wednesday at 2 o'clock in Pullman. On the women's college scoreboard from last night from our friends at Les Schwab, Washington State gave number 8 Oregon all it could handle in Pullman last night. Both teams undefeated going in, but the Ducks pulled out the 69-65 victory. Ula Montuga's three-point attempt to give the Cougars the lead with 6 seconds left missed. Oregon's Maddie Shear made 2 free throws that iced the victory. The Lady Cougars will host Eastern Washington today at 12 noon. The Gonzaga woman raced out to a 24-12 first quarter lead, never looked back. They beat North Alabama 87-57 at the Las Vegas Holiday Hoops Classic on Monday. Talk about balanced scoring. That's not a misprint you see there. Leigh Edworth Genworth, Jill Townsend each had 14 points for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs don't play again until next Monday. 7 Seahawks selected to the Pro Bowl on Monday. Russell Wilson, Jamal Adams, DK Metcalf, Bobby Wagner, Quandre Diggs, Nick Bellore, Tyler Ott, all picked by a consensus of votes by fans, players, and coaches to represent Seattle. It's tied for the most Pro Bowlers in franchise history, equal to the same number of Kansas City Chiefs and Green Bay Packers. This will be Russell Wilson's 8th Pro Bowl in his 9 seasons as a professional. Wagner, who ranked 6th in the league with 126 tackles, is in the Pro Bowl for his 7th consecutive year. Adams will be headed to the Pro Bowl for the 3rd time, but the first time with the Seahawks. And for Metcalf, Diggs, Bellore, and Ott, it's their first Pro Bowl selection. By the way, Bellore is a fullback with the Seahawks who's going because he's a special teams player. He's a long snapper on punts and field goals. Coach Pete Carroll met with reporters Monday prior to the league's announcement of the Pro Bowl. He said, "Hey, I watched Sunday's film, and I'm really happy with the overall strength of the Seahawks as they head into the final 2 games of the season."
Really fortunate by the way that our defenses continue to improve and play good ball. We're just so much better than we were earlier in the year, and you guys have been asking about it, and it's the truth, and we're excited about it, and looking forward to keep getting better. There's still so many ways we can improve, and so we're still looking for that game, which just we just do it all right, and it's out there for us. Offensively, we needed to neutralize a really good defense, and one that was on fire, and we were able to do that. Loved the plan that worked out and the way we were able to run the football and control the line of scrimmage, and then be able to keep those guys from getting to the quarterback when we did throw the football. So it worked out quite well. And the kicking game was really good again. Michael had a great game, averaging over 50 yards a punt, and Jason Myers continues to just be hot as you can be. But the whole team unit is playing really well, and so it's good to see those guys continuing to come back. We have no penalties in the kicking game, which is always special. Cody Barton continues to be a huge factor, and Nick Bellore and Cover and Ryan Neal. So we're getting really good play out of those guys. So we're happy with these last couple weeks of feeling like we're putting together good ball games, and gives us a chance to have some flexibility in how we approach the games, and who we're playing and all of that, and that's what that balance is all about. So we're pleased with that.
DJ Reed has been a surprise this year for the Seahawks. He had 3 passes defended against Washington. He also had an interception. Coach Pete Carroll says, hey, he may be 5'9" tall, but don't let that fool you.
Yeah, Jen, he's a really, really explosively quick athlete, and so he has with really good instincts and toughness and smarts and all the rest. It adds up to he is all over anybody he's playing right now, and he's just, he's playing very aggressively in playmaking attempts and stuff. He's trying to go for it because he's in position to do that. So he's just an all-around football player. He just happens to be 183 pounds, and no problem with me. I love the way he plays. So he's doing a good job, and real pleased. But he had a very good game. 3 breakups and a pick and all. It was a beautiful game.
Returning to practice this week, Josh Gordon, wide receiver. He hasn't played a game in the NFL in a year. He was suspended because of PED and substance abuse issues. Coach Pete Carroll says he looks forward to seeing what Gordon looks like in practice.
I'm really good. We got to get him on the practice field and see what he looks like and all. He's been working out really hard. I've been able to watch his workouts on video a couple times here to see that he's in really good shape. He's really big and strong too. So we're excited to see how he does. We are planning the week like he has a chance to contribute. So we'll see. We'll hold out a good hope and thought and see where it fits.
Seahawks and Rams Sunday afternoon. If the Seahawks win, of course, they will lock in the NFC West Championship. You can check local listings, or you can watch the game on Fox. It's your choice. Those are just some of the games that people are playing at just about 25 minutes after the hour. I had 2 obscure holidays to choose from. I'm trying to avoid the food-related obscure holidays. I just can't seem to shake them. Today is National Forefathers Day. It has something to do with the day after the Mayflower landed, which was 400 years ago yesterday. But they only celebrate Forefathers Day in New England, really, so I thought we'd do something that was more of a worldwide obscure holiday. Today is National Date Nut Bread Day, which is a holiday staple, yeah. Dates go back they say like 4,000 BC is how long they've been cultivating dates. It goes to the Middle East, Mesopotamia, historic Egypt. They all ate dates. The Spaniards were responsible for bringing dates to the Western world. They brought it to Mexico and eventually into California. Dates are great to cook with because full ripe dates are about 80% sugar. So you'll never see a recipe about baking dates into something that says add sugar. It's already got tons of sugar. Dates also have lots of protein, lots of fiber, lots of cobalt, which I suppose you're supposed to have, copper, fluorine, magnesium. I don't know if I want magnesium. Zinc, and of course nuts. Everybody knows nuts, chock full of vitamin E and B2 and magnesium and all that good stuff. And you put the two together, the nuts and the dates, and you cook it in the bread, and you probably are destroying all the nutritional value of it, I'm assuming. So have fun. Make yourself a big, healthy dose of date nut bread. By the way, date nut bread is one of those breads that you want to eat warm right out of the oven. It's the only way to go today in history. 156 years ago today, Sherman's March to the Sea finally came to an end. December 22nd, 1864, Savannah, Georgia falls to Sherman's army, but they did it the right way because, of course, as Sherman marched to the sea with his scorched earth policy, everything in its path was simply destroyed by William Tecumseh Sherman's army. Savannah did not want that to happen to them, so the day before, on December 21st, the mayor of Savannah, Georgia, Richard Dennis Arnold, and all of the important citizens of Savannah went out to meet the Union Army and said, if we just give up, if we surrender the city, no resistance at all, will you not burn us down? And the Union Army said, deal. They got to keep their property and they didn't burn the city down, which is why Savannah, and I've been to Savannah, it's a beautiful city, still has that charm because they said, we're not idiots. We don't want to destroy our beautiful town. So they got a deal. Sherman's March to the Sea came to an end on this date 156 years ago today. And happy 83rd birthday to the Lincoln Tunnel. Never been through the Holland Tunnel, which is about 10 years older. But I've been through the Lincoln Tunnel because unlike the Holland Tunnel, which connects New Jersey to southern Manhattan, the Lincoln Tunnel connects New Jersey to Midtown Manhattan. It comes right out in the middle of downtown New York City. It's still, like all the bridges and tunnels that connect Manhattan to the rest of the world, it doesn't cost anything to go from New York to New Jersey, but it'll run you $18 to drive through the Holland Tunnel between New Jersey and New York. It's a friendly reminder you're not going to an unimportant place. Birthdays, 2 Baseball Hall of Famers and a First Lady. Today, Cornelius Mcgillicuddy. In baseball terms, known as Connie Mack, born in the state in 1862, lived a long time, died at the age of 93 in 1956, inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1937. He owned and managed, if you're the owner of the team, you get to manage the team. You can't do that anymore. They passed laws about that. But he was the owner and manager of the Philadelphia Athletics for 50 years, for the first 50 years of their existence. From 1901 to 1950, the longest-serving manager in Major League Baseball history. As you might imagine, he holds all the managerial records, wins, losses, games managed. He managed 7,755 games, which is 1,000 more than anybody else in baseball history. Connie Mack, born in the state in 1862. Lady Bird Johnson, we normally don't do first ladies. I'm going to make an exception for Lady Bird Johnson, the 38th first president of the United States, married, of course, to Lyndon Johnson. Lyndon Johnson proposed to Lady Bird on their very first date. They got married 10 days later, just like that, boom. Lady Bird was quite the businesswoman. She inherited some money, but not a lot from her parents, and she bought a local radio station, which became a television station. And then they founded the LBJ Holding Company, and she was the first president's wife who became a millionaire in her own right before her husband was elected to the presidency. She was a smart cookie, Lady Bird was. And she was born in the state in 1912, lived to the age of 94. And finally, mentioned Baseball Hall of Famers, Lefty. He was my favorite pitcher growing up. Steve Carlton. Loved to watch the guy hone his craft. He's 76 years old today. Second most lifetime strikeouts among all left-handed pitchers. Second most lifetime wins of any left-handed pitcher. The first pitcher ever to win 4 Cy Young Awards. He's the last National League pitcher to win 25 games in the season. He's the last pitcher ever to throw 300 innings in a season. It's been that long. He's been out of baseball for 33 years. He's inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1994. Happy birthday to Lefty. A bit of an odd duck, but a darn good pitcher. It's the bottom of the hour. Going to take a break. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion, and then my conversation with Tom Nees. We went and visited Tom at the Serb Wenatchee Valley offices yesterday. Get a little catch up with Tom. It's good to see him. We'll have that for you next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Discover the magic of the holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. Enjoy wintry wine tastings, head outdoors to ski, hike, or just have fun. Come experience the breathtaking light displays. Celebrate the season with neighborhood Santa parades, or find just the right thing in our local boutiques. Your family is invited to join in our family traditions. Shop local, buy local, play local. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, nothing I like better than some white person telling me that I'm a racist, okay? I once had a friend tell me who the only reason I didn't like President Obama was because he was black. Now, I knew there was no way I could explain to this person the reading I've done, the painful soul searching I've gone through to try to recognize, admit, and address my prejudices. Soul searching I still go through, honestly. I know this person wouldn't listen, because I realize how much it is easier to point out someone else's perceived shortcomings than deal with your own. So what I said was the only thing I thought of at the time was that, well, I don't like Joe Biden either. This is Mike Mad Dog McNatty.
We choose truth over facts.
And that's my opinion.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Yeah.
There he is. Sure wish he was here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Little 4-point. It's a nice coconut.
Solid fish.
Watch the Northwest Outdoorsman with Richie Herod Saturdays and Sundays at 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 4:30 p.m. on the NCW Life channel. Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this holiday season. It's time to check in once again with Tom Nees, the Executive Director of Serb, Wenatchee Valley, certainly no stranger to this program. We are at Tom's office here at the intersection of Orondo and the Avenue. Of course, the office itself isn't open and hasn't been for quite some time, but that's not going to stop us to sit down and kind of do a year in review with Tom Nees. And first of all, Tom, thanks for reaching out. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here with you and great to catch up. I've missed sitting down, chatting with you.
I love talking with Tom. You know, I always feel better once I talk to Tom Nees. Let's work backwards as we do the year in review for Serb, Wenatchee Valley. Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is in the books. You had your toy distribution event.
We did.
That already came. My understanding is it was phenomenally successful once again.
Yeah, it was very successful. You know, so I'm going to go back on you. You're going backwards. I'm going to go back and say we really made a decision early on in the pandemic that we were going to do whatever we could in any way we can with what we had and to do it safely. And so with that being the case, we were able to do all of our hallmark Serb Wenatchee events throughout the year. They were done very differently. The Glory of Christmas program was done differently. We had a larger space over at the Church of the Nazarene. We moved into that large downstairs multi-purpose room. We created a path, you know, for families to be able to walk through, couldn't go backwards, and we metered the number of families that were in there at any given time. We didn't do food this year. We did gift cards instead. We weren't able to, you know, to do some of the special moment sort of things like sitting around a table with a cup of cocoa with a friend, but that's okay. We were able to provide gifts and toys for almost 370 kids.
Wow.
And so it was.
Is that the most ever for you guys? Or
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, kudos, first of all, to the folks at Les Schwab for putting it together. I've mentioned this before when I talked to Kurt Mosier and the other good folks at Les Schwab. They could have just slapped their name on it and said, we're good with it. But they showed up to every event with their tents and their people, and they volunteered hundreds of hours to help the less fortunate in our area. And they don't have to do it, but they do it.
No, they are anything but passive partners. They are incredibly active, constantly interacting, you know, with us about what the needs are and what the needs we're seeing. Our program is just a little bit different than some of the other ones in that we invite a broader group of the community to participate in this than some of the programs that have kids in their programs already and they know the numbers, right? And so they are willing to work with us to be able to provide Christmas, and that takes a little bit of give and take, and man, they gave.
So how exactly did the toy distribution work with the 370 some odd kids getting their presents via the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive? Logistically, how did you do that?
So we go and we collected the toys on Monday of last week, and so we picked up the toys, took them over to the church. We set the whole place up. We decorated it. It was somewhat pulled back a little bit from what we normally do, but it was still, and we created an amazing space where the aged toys were all in order. And so if you walked in and you didn't have an infant, you could immediately bypass that and move on to to some of the toys that were more appropriate for your kids. It's a shopping experience for the families that participate in this program. So they get to go and select the toy that they think would bring their child joy.
So the adults, the parents, they were segregated from the kids, so the kids don't know, or do the kids know? How did that work?
The kids don't come.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. That's
we tell them not to bring their children to this event because it's intended to be, from the parents' perspective, we don't want them to go home and say this was provided by someone else. We want that opportunity for the parents to be able to stand up and be. I think it adds dignity to
absolutely
this Christmas experience for them to. We picked these toys out for you guys, and we're grateful.
And they should be wrapped and under the tree,
yep.
So the kids can enjoy the holiday season. Because who doesn't love sitting underneath the tree on Christmas? Whether you do Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, to open your presents. and
so
they're wrapped.
it was good. We
Yeah.
did. Normally we have a wrapping station where we get to wrap them all up, and so they leave wrapped. We couldn't do that, so we had tape and wrapping paper that they were able to leave with to be able to do that on their own. So yeah, it's good.
This has been a challenging year for everybody, Tom, going back into March. Economic hardship, people losing their jobs or at least having their income drastically reduced. There's never been a more important need for Serb Wenatchee Valley than it has been in this year of 2020, and yet you physically were closed. Talk about the challenges of providing the services that Serb Wenatchee Valley does to the people who need your services without actually having to come down and physically see you guys and fill out forms and whatever the case may be. Talk about that.
We transitioned very early when we closed our office. So we were closed and yet we were open. We were here. We were here throughout the pandemic, and our phone lines would light up, and we would take the information over the phone. We would find out what the need was and refer. We would do all of that from appropriate distance. And so we had both electronic ways of submitting information, and we also had over the phone conversations and as many personal conversations as we could. Now, in the middle of this, we started out by doing the drive-through food bank over at the Town Toyota Center.
Yep.
And so that was a drive-through model, partnered with the Town Toyota Center. I have to shout out the Town Toyota Center at this moment of time, and Mark Miller and the staff over there have been absolutely amazing community partners throughout this season. They have been incredibly generous to be able to take this big empty space and all of the hardship that they have gone through, and yet turn that into an act of generosity to this community has been amazing to me. So I really have to shout that out. So it started there, but then we opened in about August a Fresh Hope Market here. And so we opened essentially a grocery store. And the Fresh Hope Market, we schedule people, so they call if they need, food. Then we schedule them and meter them so that we've got just one family at a time that comes in and shops and then leaves. We schedule that every 20 to 30 minutes. And so we wiped everything down, in between, and made sure that we're keeping, those kind of protocols secure and safe. But the market gives families the opportunity to shop for what it is. Again, the dignity of shopping for what they want to take home to their families to eat. We also got a donation of some coolers and some freezers. That gives us the opportunity to be able to provide more fresh produce, fresh food at our food bank than we have been able to in the past. And that has been an amazing gift. One of the great things that we get every once in a while is our fresh flowers, fresh cut flowers. And we got those donated in. And I can't tell you what that means to someone to be able to deliver to them fresh cut flowers when they come to get a box of food. They came here for food. They left with that, those fresh cut flowers. And what an amazing journey it has been to be able to do that in the midst of COVID.
Looking at those big coolers and big freezers that, again, were completely donated, they look a little bare, though, Tom. Looks like we could fill them up a little bit or a lot.
Well, so right now, as of today, our food distribution is closed. However, just before you walked in, you noticed we took a box of food out to the doorstep because somebody called in and they were just desperate. And so we're still continuing to take calls. Our office is open. We're not running the market. And so our food that we normally would get is going out to other community locations in the community that could use it and distribute that on our behalf. So yes, that's true today. But last week, those coolers and those freezers were full and filling the need in this community.
What do you hear from some of the other good folks who do similar work, the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, people like that who are helping those folks at this time of the year and year round who are having a tough time making ends meet? How are they holding up during all this?
I think we're, I said that statement earlier, we're doing what we can with what we have. And I really think that is what I'm seeing. And, Community Action Council has been just incredible in terms of their distribution, the millions of pounds of food that they've delivered through Chelan and Douglas County, the hundreds and hundreds of families that they've been able to help with rent assistance, and the Salvation Army continuing to step up and being able to help. We're all doing it very different. I can say that, again, with this community and the generosity that this community has, it's amazing what is being supported in terms of the basic needs that we have as a community.
It never ceases to amaze me. And I was born and raised here, and yet I'm still surprised about how generous the people are in the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington.
Yep,
That's why I live here.
In the midst of a pandemic.
In the midst of a pandemic. 2021, what's next for Serb Wenatchee Valley is hopefully we start getting on the back end of this curve and things start getting back to normal. I certainly know that you want to be able to see your offices open and have your clients come in for whatever it is that they need to do. What's next for the upcoming year for Tom and the crew?
So we're gonna continue to safely and securely serve the needs of the families as we start. If we can get that curve down below a certain threshold, then we'll start to open up and be able to serve more through the Fresh Hope Market because our volume can increase. We know that the economic impact of this is going to carry on into the second, third quarter, if not all the way through 2021. And so rent assistance is a huge thing. We're going to continue to do what we can with meeting that need as well. The other thing that's on the horizon for 2021 is that we, Serb Wenatchee, took the step of forming a project called the Wenatchee Valley Housing Trust. And so we're serving as a fiscal sponsor of that project, and we're rallying community support around that now. We've got both cities, both counties, a lot of folks that are part of our work group that are planning to put together a housing trust to be able to serve the missing gap in our community, the missing housing gap in our community.
And the housing shortage, affordable housing shortage, I should say, is acute. It was there before COVID. Mm-hmm. It's worse now. I mean, this place has become an expensive place to live, even for somebody is making a living, a basic human living wage, minimum wage, if you will, and they got a couple of kids. It's all they can do to make it month to month.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. But I think we've got a public will to address this. I think it's each of the last 3 election cycles, when asked of someone who is running for office, what are the 3 most important things that we face as a community? Either number 1, excuse me, or number 2 has been housing. Mm-hmm. And so we don't see, as we look at the horizon, that being taken care of. It certainly won't be taken care of if we don't do something. Now, there are things that are being done on the rental side. This is not a fix. This is not the answer, but it's an answer to be able to fill the housing gap. And so that is something that in 2021 is a significant project that we're taking on as an organization to simply guide. But it's up to the entirety of the community to come around and see that. It's very similar to what they are doing currently up in Chelan with the Chelan Valley Housing Trust and creating home ownership opportunities for families that would not otherwise have the opportunity to do that.
Again, we're talking to Tom Nees, Executive Director of Serb Wenatchee Valley. That's Tom with an H. And don't you forget about it. Last question, Tom. We'll cut you loose. I know you're busy as we head deeper and deeper into the holiday season. What can my viewers do for you? What can we do to help out Serb Wenatchee Valley? I'll let you have the final word, Tom.
Wow. I would, right now, we've heard over the past several months about a tidal wave coming at the end of 2020 with the eviction moratorium being lifted. And so we know that there is kind of this impending, we're looking out there, and once that eviction moratorium is lifted, then there's going to be a lot of folks, and you can see it in our office over the last 2 weeks. We've got a stack of folks that are reaching out for rent assistance, and so I think the beauty of rent assistance is that it's not just one-dimensional. It doesn't just help the family to be able to stay safely home. But the other bigger picture of this is that you've got landlords that have bills that are coming due, whether the rent comes in or not. And so it is helpful to the entire system to be able to provide that rent assistance and get it into the hands of the landlords that have their bills as well. And so it's a win-win. And so that, I would say, just in terms of financially right now, we really need additional support to be able to meet that increasing need of rent assistance as we step into the end of this year and into the beginning of the next.
Tom Nees, Executive Director of Serb Wenatchee Valley, who has an open invitation to come on my show whenever he wishes. He actually takes me up on it. We'll have to talk about that some other time, Tom. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and yours, your wife, and the 5 kids and everybody. I hope you have a good and safe holiday, and we'll see you soon. All right, Tom?
Thank you. I look forward to that, and please live in the context of hope.
There you go.
Because it came to pass. It didn't come to stay.
Ooh, I'm writing that down. Don't have a pen. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
It's the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event going on now at Pat Armstrong Ford. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Pat Armstrong Ford. Our deals are built for joy. Get 0% APR for 60 months on a 2020 Ford Expedition, plus $2,250 trade assist and 90-day deferred payment. Dash in for deals and save by the sleigh load. Unlock your merry today at Pat Armstrong Ford. We are community strong in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent at Springwater Insurance Group. And for next year's plans, there's some really special ones coming out. One in particular has no premium to it. 0 premium. That's pretty neat, especially if you're a veteran who has TRICARE or VA or CHAMPS VA, because you can utilize 2 plans at the same time. If you have questions about this and like more information, give us a call at 888-2600.
And we are back. Got about 6 minutes left on this award-winning program. The sun is now up. Came up officially at 7:46 this morning. This is the first full day of winter. The winter solstice was at 2 in the morning yesterday morning. So now that the sun is starting to get the job done, let's go around the valley one more time on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Gobs of sunshine. That's out at Monument Hill, I believe. Out there in Quincy, opportunities unlimited. Out there in Quincy. This is the longest day of the year, 8 hours and 27 minutes. That's exactly what we had yesterday. We'll have 8 hours and 27 minutes and 30 seconds or so of daylight tomorrow. The sun will start coming down a little bit later than normal. Is that jump off, Malcolm? I think that is Jump Off Ridge. I believe that's the Stemilt Basin we're looking at. I'm looking way off in the distance on the right-hand side, and I believe it's the Wenatchee Valley. Waiting for confirmation from Mr. Whitehall. I discovered he likes to be addressed as Mr. Whitehall and not Malcolm. I discovered that. So good morning to our friends out in the Stemilt Basin as we see the sun starting to kiss the sky. Look at that beautiful view from Billy Goat. The Alta Lake area. That is Alta Lake that you see right smack dab in the middle of your screen. The Alta Lake Golf Course and the housing development and the park is to your left. To your upper left is beautiful Pateros, Washington, United States of America. Brewster up there by the big B that says brought to you by. That's where Brewster is. So we took the Billy Goat camera and he turned it just a skosh as we see the Methow empty into the Columbia River. That's an incredible view there. Where are we going for camera 4? It's downtown to the cross camera, well, top of the Wenatchee Heights anyway. Sun just starting to bathe. Birch Mountain on this Tuesday morning. Are we going to have a white Christmas? Yeah, maybe. Friday night, a couple of slides to show for you from the National Weather Service. First of all, most of the rest of this week is pretty much what we have right now. High pressure has begun to build up. Of course, we had that cold front that came in yesterday. I mentioned this at the top of the show. I'm going to mention it again. Yesterday's high, Monday's high, was 44 degrees. That happened at 1:13 in the morning, which is normally the coldest time of the day. And our low on Monday was 35, and our normal high is 31. So our normal overnight low temperature was 4 degrees warmer than what our afternoon high should have been, all things considered normal. But we're in for dry, seasonable temperatures, light winds, temperatures going to get cooler and cooler. The cold front has come in. It has ushered in some cooler air. So Christmas, going to be white? Maybe Friday night. Don't think so actually during the day. Unlike today, tomorrow, and Thursday, Friday is going to be cloudy and foggy all day. We're not going to see any sun, it doesn't look like, during the day on Christmas. But Christmas evening, how late this weak storm comes in on Friday night, don't really know. It could be while you're still up and about celebrating Christmas, we hope, with your family and your friends, and we hope you're doing it safely. There is a 40% chance of snow Friday night. What we don't know is when that snow might arrive. All right, so would be kind of cool to have some snowflakes coming down, at least during the daylight, during the daytime on Christmas Day. That's kind of a hit and miss. In the evening hours on Friday night is when the best chance of some snow actually coming down in the Wenatchee Valley. So from the National Weather Service, I still don't know what Kermit is. Malcolm got creative this morning, and so he has Kermit doing that. I swear we're going to get sued. Just about 40 degrees with gobs of sunshine today. It's going to be a beautiful day today. As you can see, the cooler air has begun to make its presence felt. We'll get down to 22 for the overnight low tonight. Tomorrow, just like today, sunshine, obviously cooler, with a high of only about the freezing mark. 21 for the overnight low on Wednesday night. Thursday, one more day of sunshine. We'll see some high clouds and some morning fog. They won't last very long. High pressure is large and in charge. We'll get up to about 31 degrees for a high on Christmas Eve proper. Santa's out and about doing his thing on Thursday night. We'll get down to 21 for the overnight low. Unfortunately for Christmas Day, it looks cloudy pretty much all day Christmas Day. Not going to see the sunlight, but again, Friday night, Christmas night, there is right now, anyway, about a 40% chance of snow. We'll have a better idea on the timetable on the possibility of snow on Friday night by this time tomorrow, so don't miss that. Grant will have an update, obviously, with the weather tonight at 5 o'clock. And then basically typical early winter weather for the rest of the week. I'm hoping anyway for a couple of light snowflakes on Friday night. That would be cool. Let's take you up to the major mountain passes. It was nasty earlier, and it is still not particularly pleasant. Chains are still required right now on Snoqualmie Pass unless you have an all-wheel drive vehicle. It is snowing, and it's coming down like cats and dogs on Snoqualmie Pass. Again, chains are required unless you have an all-wheel drive car. Stevens isn't much better. It's a traction tire requirement on Stevens Pass. You can barely even make out the pass. It's snowing, but it's not snowing as hard on Stevens right now as it is on Snoqualmie Pass. Again, traction tires are required on US 2 Stevens with snow coming down. Traction tires are now advised on Blewett. They got partly cloudy skies. The roadway is pretty much bare and wet, except for the last 3 or 4 miles on either side of the summit. They're going to run into some slush and some snow and some ice, and so traction tires are advised as we look at the live shot at the summit of Blewett Pass. Now, the snow is supposed to taper off before the noon hour today, so if you need to drive over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, if you can wait a couple hours, you'll be a lot better off because, as you can see, we got lots of sunshine here. That sun is eventually going to make its way into the mountain passes. The snow is going to dissipate. It's going to stop snowing by about noon today. That will allow the plows to get the job done, and the mountain passes, the conditions on the mountain passes are going to improve dramatically later on in the day. If you have to go now, though, again, chains are required on Snoqualmie Pass. Traction tires required on Stevens Pass. Traction tires are advised on Blewett Pass. And yes, the State Patrol is checking, but if you can wait a couple hours, you'll be a lot better off. That's it for us. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.